Hey, friends! This time I have an unusual animated feature for you that you may have skipped over. Namely, The Illusionist from 2010, not to be confused with the film of the same name, starring Edward Norton from 2006. Our story goes like this. It's the late 1950s, and our hero, Tatashev, a hapless stage magician, is working the music hall circuit, but work is drying up, which leads him to accept a job playing a small pub in Scotland. Here, he meets a servant girl named Alice, who promptly adopts him and follows him on his journey. Tatashev, a man with a big heart, suddenly finds himself supporting this young girl who has no one else in the world to look after her. As time passes, she blossoms into a young woman and soon meets a young man. Both the girl and Tatashev must eventually face the fact that magic is but a pleasant illusion and not a way of life. This one was directed by Sylvian Chomet, who also directed The Triplets of Belleville, and it beautifully captures the quiet sadness that is a changing time. Here we see the old music halls, the British version of Vaudeville, fading away from the landscape as television supplanted nightclubs and other venues of entertainment. Many of the entertainers who performed in the music halls found work drying up and had to take on any work they could get, oftentimes well beneath their talents. The same thing happened in vaudeville, the more savvy or successful making their way to radio and television. But the vast majority found themselves facing forced retirement or even oblivion as time and age overtook them. And here you get the sense that Tatashev's act is perhaps not as good as it used to be. I've always loved Jacques Tati's humor. It's very much on a par with the best silent comedians and sharply observational. And surprisingly, for all his talent, Tati only directed some 8 or 9 pictures. Playtime, Mr. Hulot's Holiday, Mon Oncle, Traffic, all are phenomenal showcases of his signature style and his signature character, Mr. Hulot. Mr. Hulot is often seen in tweeds, a rumpled overcoat, hat, and pipe, looking just a bit like a walking anachronism wherever he's placed in a story. The Illusionist is taken from an unused script Jacques Tati wrote. His look, his movements, his stance as Mr. Hulot, they're all lovingly portrayed as the main character, and at one point, the magician ducks into a theater and sees a clip from one of Tati's films on the screen. Tatashev, the name of the magician, was Jacques Tati's full family name, which was a nice touch. Alice is, in many ways, Alice from Wonderland. Even her blue dress evokes the Disney version of Alice, in keeping with her living in a sort of fantasy world. The film convincingly evokes its time and place. The art, made with both traditional 2D animation combined with 3D animation, is richly detailed, and the drawings are made in a gorgeous line and wash watercolor style. If you don't fall in love with this picture, then you better go see an undertaker, because you must be dead inside. The Illusionist is definitely a four-paw picture. It's poignant, a bittersweet love letter to a fading way of life, and yet the movie is still funny in just the right way. The animation is gorgeous, it has a lovely score, and the film properly honors the great comedian Jacques Tati. If you ever feel like the world has gone all to crap and there's no hope for us, just remind yourself, humans made this. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.